as it pertains to Joe Lacob, there's no doubt this is the most important offseason he's had as an owner. There's no doubt. He hasn't been here long, right? Got here, 2011? Hasn't been here long. But there's no doubt how the roster gets shaped this season could go a long way moving forward, Spadone.
If I want to play devil's advocate here, maybe that season already past being the most important in terms of winning another championship going forward. It was the summer in which you drafted James Wiseman. It was that. Was that
year. The most important offseason? Coming off it was a pandemic year.
God, it's starting to feel like whiffing on that one. We've had Nick Friedel on NBA Insider for Odyssey. We've had multiple people on saying whiffing on that pick really hurt them. I know they won the title, but they could have been set up for even more of them potentially in these coming years now, where you feel like you're behind the eight ball because teams like Minnesota, who had the number one pick, and they were always going to take Edwards, so you weren't going to get him. And we'll wait and see with LaMelo Ball. You weren't going to take Halliburton. But you're just seeing some of these players and teams that are currently in the playoffs right now, and those guys, Halliburton and Anthony Edwards specifically, leading them deep into the playoffs. And it's tough because you were hoping James Wiseman could be that guy, but he just wasn't going to be. Now we're just learning that.
Well, his rookie year, he was solid. James Wiseman as a rookie, and then the injuries hurt him. He lost his confidence, and there was no role for him here. It's just that simple. Now, is that pick holding you back? Yeah, it hurts. It definitely hurts. But it also hurts not having Jordan Poole here, another first-round pick.
Yes.
And we all forget what he was doing during that postseason run when they won the NBA championship. We couldn't have enough pool parties in the Bay Area.
We were playing him the money time drop. So, I was playing it every freaking day.
So that pick, that's another pick where you have a player last year. Where you need a guy who can score, create his own shot. What were we talking about by the end of the season? You need more shot creators. Where Jordan Poole was one of those. And then, of course, his last season with the Warriors, it all went haywire. LaMelo Ball, just the whole LaMelo Ball thing.
Another guy that's been hurt a lot.
He's been hurt. What does he play, 50-something games the last 2 seasons?
Yeah. The talent's undeniable, but that's great. You can have all the talent in the world, or you'll be Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah, but I just don't see how he would have fit with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green. Yeah, sure, he's a pass-first player.
Yeah, that's the thing. He passes very well.
He does pass. But I don't see how that was going to work. And then what happens to Jordan Poole if you bring in LaMelo?
It's a fair point.
Jordan Poole at that time didn't have much value. I'm not sure you're getting to Chris Paul for Jordan Poole at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, look, it all worked out in the end. LaMelo's in Charlotte. They're not winning a damn thing. He can't stay healthy. Jordan Poole's in Washington. He's gone now. But you got a championship out of it. The Wiseman pick does hurt. It does hurt. But how do you reinvent yourself this offseason? How do you do it? Is it just simply elevating the youngsters? Is it that simple? Kuminga, Moody, and you move off Wiggins. Is it that simple?
God, that's a tough sell to the fan base, though, right?
Is it a tough sell?
I mean, but if the sell is you're running it back and we're just going to play the young guys more. I don't know I don't think that's going to be enough for the Warriors fan base. I think they are expecting, Bonte, a big move to be made.
What's the big move?
Well, we're finding out it's going to be few and far between. I don't know if Kyle Kuzma or Brandon Ingram are the quote big move. Brandon Ingram actually, I think, would be a move that Warriors fans could be like, you know what? We just got a score. We just got an all-star caliber player.
Right.
I think we could, make some noise this year.
Right.
He's young. He's athletic. Right. That's a name to where you could actually, they did something this offseason. Simply going to get fringe players like another Dario Saric type. Like, I know that was a name we were throwing around last year, and we were saying, oh, go get me a Dario, and I think we'll be good because we're going to have more minutes for Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga.
Right.
Well, you got more Kuminga minutes, and he proved to be a player. Saric got phased out, wasn't playing towards the end of the year. Those kind of moves aren't doing it for me.
What is a big move for the Warriors? What is a big move?
It's the question of the summer, man.
You know what? We're now 24 days of counting since the Warriors last played a basketball game.
Man.
It feels so much longer. And this offseason hasn't even we're on the second round of the playoffs. We haven't even hit today's game 3.
It's a slow grind now.
It's a slow grind.
It hurts.
Because you don't know where they're at. You don't know whether or not they're having a conversation with Klay Thompson. You don't know whether or not they're discussing trading Andrew Wiggins or bringing him back. You don't know what they're discussing when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody. Hell, even with Pods and TJD. What about Lou Dog, who was just at the Kentucky Derby, hanging out with my boy Fezzy Fell?
Was he really?
He was at the Kentucky
Betting
Derby.
on the ponies?
Betting on the ponies.
How'd Festus do? Did he clean up out there?
I don't think he bet on the ponies.
Oh, okay.
I haven't texted him.
He just came for the outfits and the styles, right? And the mint juleps.
Yep.
There you go.
So
not mad at that.
So I don't know where the Warriors are at or how they're thinking about this thing, but I do know one thing when it comes to Joe Lacob, the guy wants to win. That's what I do.
That is a fact. And he is not going to stand for anything less if he feels like there is going to be a move to be made. And he spoke with you guys last year prior to the season. They are always looking to get better. Always. And if there's a move to be made, whether that's LeBron James in the middle of the season, whether that's a Kevin Durant, sure, they're going to try their best to do those things. And I can't say that for every owner. Bonte, you can always make fun of owners. Oh, yeah, they tried. The Giants, They're perpetually in second place when it comes to all these, or third place. All the reports always come out. But I know Lacob has swung and hit when it comes to Kevin Durant. So he delivered on his promise of turning this organization back into a champion. Now, going forward, his idol is Jerry Buss. He grew up idolizing Dr. Jerry Buss of the Los Angeles Lakers.
16 finals in 33 years.
Correct. They didn't have a lot of down periods. And when they did, they pivoted very quickly and always got that next big fish. I don't know if that's in the cards this year, but beyond that even, I still have faith in Joe Lacob that he could turn this into a contender sooner rather than later. I have that much faith in him.
Well, it's a pathway, though.
But our Warriors fans, but this is the pathway. If they have a down year this year, is that acceptable here? Is that acceptable?
Well, it depends what it looks like. It depends who you build around Steph. I'm seeing Carter shake his head no. What does it look like? Because first of all,
it looks like you're a fringe team like this year.
Let's be real about something here. Let's be absolutely honest about something. With fanatics, with fans, it will never be acceptable to lose games or have a losing season. What are we talking about with the Giants?
Well, that's what
the road trip. We're not accepting it. Nobody's going to accept the Warriors taking a step back, especially if you have Stephen Curry, and we know he's 36 years old, and time's running out on his career. Now, he may have 4 years left. He may have 5 years left. I don't know. I don't know how long Steph wants to play. But the time is running out, so is it acceptable? Are the fans going to accept the losing season? Hell no, they're not. Not this fan base.
I mean, you said it, that this is the most important offseason for Joe Lacob.
I do believe it is. How do you manage your money? How do you manage the books? How do you manage the draft? How do you manage trading? Do you make the right trade? How do you recoup? How do you get more athletic? How do you get bigger? How do you get two-way players? There's a lot going on here because I'm with the 510 here. Xfinity Mobile text line. 510. I'm actually enjoying the playoffs as an NBA fan and dissecting how the league is evolving. And I'm the same way. I'm looking at how the league has evolved, and I'm looking at OKC. I'm like, wow, these guys are fast. They're like little thoroughbreds out there. They're getting up and down.
Are you watching with joy or with disgust in your stomach as a fan, being like, this is going to be very hard to compete with these guys?
Ooh, great question.
Because I know you're a fan. You're a fan of the game, so there's being a fan of a team and then also being a fan of the game and appreciating greatness.
I'm a fan of the game, but I'm appreciating these youngsters not playing buddy ball, and these youngsters are going hard to paint, and they're talking that talk, and it starts with Anthony Edwards.
Donovan Mitchell yesterday in Boston. I love that.
Talk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. The New York Knicks and the Pacers, they're both talking that talk. All these teams are talking that talk. I love the way the league is evolving. We're getting back to honest basketball, hard nose, 90s. Physicality, dunk on your head, let's go.
I'm not your friend basketball. Yes.
Exactly. No, none of this AAU crap. None of that. So how does the league evolve? And the Warriors sitting back saying, okay, how do we evolve here? They have to evolve in what way? But what's the steps to making that happen? We don't know. I don't know.
I don't think, and the more I'm thinking about it, I just don't know if there's something in the cards this summer that automatically vaults the Warriors back into championship contention. So the more I'm thinking about it, Bonte, I don't think this is a make or break offseason for Joe Lacob.
You don't?
I don't.
Ooh.
I don't think there's going to be the moves out there. The more we're talking about it, Bonte, LeBron's not coming here. Kevin Durant's not coming here. You're not getting Jason Tatum. I don't think you're getting Jaylen Brown. Maybe a Brandon Ingram. Does that vault you back?
Antetokounmpo.
I don't think Giannis is coming here.
And the salary cap makes it difficult to do all this stuff. Shameless shout-outs coming up in 8 minutes. Shameless shout-outs. Line them up, 888-957-9570.
I don't think this is a make-or-break offseason for Joe Lacob.
But I do think it could shape what the Warriors look like over the next 3 years. Right? Doesn't it shape the rest of Steph's career?
You got to have another partner to make the trade, and I don't right now see that happening. We have some couple weeks. We have a month to go before this thing all shakes out in the NBA Finals and teams are all done. And was it June 30th, June 28th, whatever it is, when free agency starts? So we have a ways to go, and maybe there's going to be a disgruntled star that the Warriors swoop in on. But as of right now, May 10th, it's not in the
We don't
cards.
know who's going to be available. We don't know what teams are going to be.
Well, that's what I'm just saying right now. It's hard for me to envision that a lot of these guys are going to be made available because right now I feel like, don't you want to keep your star players? Like,
well, Brandon Ingram. We don't know what New Orleans.
Well, we know that they're not extending him.
Right.
He is up for extension, but they're not doing it.
What is OKC going to do to tweak? There's in Miami. What are they going to do with their roster? Bam Adebayo. Is he going to be available? I have no idea.
You don't want Jimmy Butler, do you?
Well, no. I mean, just to that point, though, I mean, Spinoni, what you said, the other team has to be in on the trade, too. Let's say, someone becomes disgruntled and hits the market. So let's say it's Zion, just for example. After the playoffs, he's like, you know what? I don't want to be in New Orleans anymore. New Orleans, trade me. The Warriors will obviously be all over that. But every other NBA team is going to be in on that too. So if the Warriors give, their best offer against the best offer of, like, say, the Knicks or the Spurs or the Thunder, who have so much more assets to give, the Warriors can go all in on trying to chase one of these available superstars on the trade market, but they might not even have one of the 5 or 6 best deals to offer these teams if they do try to get in on those sweepstakes.
How sexy of a destination, to your point, Sam, and I'll throw this to you, Bonte, is the Golden State Warriors right now. You have Stephen Curry, you have Steve Kerr, you have Draymond Green, maybe you have Klay Thompson. If I'm another player looking at this situation right now, how desirable is this location right now in Golden State?
Not as desirable as it was, say, 5 years ago. Because of the ages of this core, because of the players. And they look at the Warriors saying, can I get to the Western Conference Finals at least with this team? Don't know. I don't think so. So I don't know how desirable it is.
Like if I'm
I was just saying this. It's not as desirable as it was 2 years ago.
Correct. If I'm Zion, am I looking at coming here? Or am I looking at going to Miami?
Well, for Zion, he may want to go to Miami, but you are playing. But let's not get it twisted. You do still have Stephen Curry here. Now, maybe that makes it hard because you're going to be in that shadow, and if things go awry, you're going to get all the blame, and the fan base and everybody in the media, they're going to point the finger at you saying, Steph needs more help. It's not an easy place to play because of Steph Curry and what he brings to the table, but he's a hell of a teammate.
He is.
He'll integrate you right away.
Yep.
You have no problem with that. Let's go to Maria Pinot. Maria, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Oh. Colleen, I'm a Warriors fanatic since Run DMC days. I'm actually okay with a not great season, except for Steph. I feel like, man, my heart breaks if he can't get that 5th championship. But I understand what the salary cap is doing to the NBA now. I just don't see how the Warriors can afford to get players that are going to move the needle hugely. Yep. I think the rest of the NBA also isn't, even though we're seeing, Denver was great, but look what happened when they lost their bench.
Yep, Bruce Brown.
So I feel like it's going to be up and down for all the great NBA teams, all the West. Honestly, I feel like our Golden Empire might be the last NBA dynasty for a long time.
Ooh.
I don't see how they build with the current salary cap.
So Maria, are you with bringing Klay back and just running it back and just taking the lumps as it is, or are you willing to start a reload right now by trading some people? What would be the top priority for you with the Warriors this offseason?
Man, because I don't think that we can really get a star with the money we have, I'd say bring Klay back for a reasonable amount, $25 million. And I'd like to ride with Kuminga, see where he goes. Moody, I'd love to see what, potential he has. And I love the Rooks. They were a great surprise for the season. So if we're mid, I'd like to be 6th place at least in the West. But if we're mid-level, we're just not going to beat the OKCs and the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. I don't see that as a reality. The Spurs are coming up with Wemby. I think we're in the dog days right now. But I really wish, honestly, if they move Steph, if Steph wanted to leave to get that 5th championship, I would root for whatever team he was on. For me, it's, he built us up here. I'm riding with him forever, but I feel bad that I think it's impossible right now for us to get that 5th championship for him. In the near future, if he sticks around for a while, maybe we can afford stars again, and he could be that, Dirk Nowitzki giving us a deal and get that 5th championship somehow. Get that
Maria, hell of a call. Please call back. Call. And you know what? The realization that it may be time to move forward, and the realization that the Warriors may not be an elite team in the Western Conference. Now, again, a few games out of the 6th seed, but how would that have played in a 7-game series against some of these teams? I don't know, man. I'm kind of with Maria.
Yeah,
I want to take 2 steps back to get forward. I just want to see what the direction is. I need this offseason to start right away to see what the priorities are. What is it going to look like? Because I do want to see something different.
She said something. I know we got shameless shout-outs coming in here, 888-957-9570. Shout out whoever and whatever you want. She said something that I just vehemently disagree with.
What's that?
I could never, and maybe it's different because Steph is built different and he just has such a relationship with fans. But if he went to another team, I'm not rooting for that team to win a championship. Like I'm not built like I'm not going to root for Steph just because he's Stephen Curry. If he's not on my team, I'm not rooting for you, man. Like it's great. You can have success. You go over to Miami. I'm not rooting for the Heat to win a title.
Yeah.
That's just, maybe I'm built different like that. Like,
I mean,
are you rooting for if Steph Curry gets traded? And this is a hypothetical. I just want to because I know you're a diehard. You're decked out head to toe in Warriors gear right now.
I would root for Curry. I root for Curry to have success. I'm not going to hate him. I root for him to have success.
But you'd be like a Miami Heat fan.
No. I wouldn't be a fan.
So you wouldn't be like the LeBron fans when they're going from Cleveland to Miami. Because I think a lot of Steph fans would dump all their Warriors gear and just put on Miami Heat stuff.
Yes. No doubt. But I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I root for Curry to have success. But I wouldn't root for the team.
Yeah.
But if Curry won a championship with the Charlotte Hornets, I'll be happy for him.
Okay.
Klay Thompson moves on. I'll be happy for him. Draymond Green moves on. I'll be happy for him. All these former 49ers, I root for them.
Okay.
I root for them. I do. I'm not a hater. I root for Steph, but I'm not going to root for him. Be like, go Heat, go.
I wonder how many Niner fans are rooting for Jimmy Garoppolo last year with the Raiders.
There was a lot of haters.
I don't think
there was a lot of haters rooting for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Finished with the winning record, by the way, with the Raiders. Now back up with the Rams.
Had a winning record with the Niners.
All he does is win.
That's right.